we've heard some really interesting things from talking with sources inside and outside the Saints organization about how teams might approach the new kickoff role. At least one person suggested it could be treated more like an inside run drill, just very spread out. Another said it will become a lot more important for teams to match personnel groupings based on the size and speed and all the other factors. But by far, the most interesting wrinkle is that some believe it could lead to teams using star caliber players on kick returns now that it's safer and there will be so many more touches available, up to 5 or 6 per week. So how does this affect the Saints and what do we expect from them? Is it a path to more touches for Shaheed? Could Alvin Kamara be out there? Taysom Hill? Chris Olave, Alontae Taylor, Deontay Hardy coming back? Or do you look for the next Hardy or Shaheed in the draft through their process of identifying those types of players? So how do you see it going?
It's all really exciting. And I mean, we were talking to someone I asked because I, am always like, how do you get the ball in Taysom Hill's hands more? And I said, is this a path for possible more Taysom Hill touches? Because we always want more Taysom Hill touches. And I said, or back to the days where Kamara, remember he had the punt return touchdown as a rookie. And those are two names that have already been tossed around theoretically. I mean, obviously they haven't drawn anything up. This rule's only existed for a week, but that's the kind of stuff we're talking about here is guys like that we want to see in open space more, that we want to see get more touches, could realistically do it. And I think that's actually so possible that Deontay Hardy is probably not front of mind because they have players already on the roster they'd like to get those touches to. Obviously, it's going to mean more touches for Shaheed, which is super exciting. And yeah, they're probably going to draft another guy. Maybe it's Jaquan Jackson, or maybe it's somebody from a college I've never heard of that they're signing as a UDFA because that's what they do so well. But I mean, this is maybe this should have made its way onto the bracket. Can the Saints have a special teams advantage because they've got some really exciting guys who are going to be touching the ball a lot more now?
I wouldn't be against bringing Hardy back, and I'm a big Hardy believer. Like, I think he can do more as a receiver. I think he's great as a returner. And if you could, and look, it doesn't seem like he has a huge market, so you could probably bring him back pretty cheap. But if this is one of those things that you do really well, is finding Hardy and then you find
the next one
Shaheed,
instead.
Yeah, find him, bring him in. Like, bring me the young guy that's just kind of costs nothing. And while you're doing that, like, throw Taysom Hill out there. Have like 2 different types. Make it a game of choice, Like, and if they choose wrong, they choose wrong. But I like having 2 different types of guys out there and having 2 different ways to kind of approach it. Like, have some variety. I don't know if we know enough about this yet.
Right.
Like, we haven't seen it to really have like a steadfast opinion. But I would rather get the ball in, Kamara's hands than kind of anybody on this list, or Taysom's hands more than kind of anybody on this list. And if they aren't going to get hurt and you don't really have to protect them, like, why wouldn't you get the ball into these people's hands? But Shaheed is still very, very close to the top of that list for me.
He's a cheat code compared to the rest of the league. He's the All-Pro and the Pro Bowl selection among return men. I mean, they've got a leg up on everyone because of that. But yeah, the safety factor, I mean, it's just been taken for, accepted as fact. Well, you don't use Alvin Kamara back there. He's too important to the offense. But if these are the kind of touches that aren't like a higher risk of injury, then it becomes hey, we can get Kamara 3 more touches in this game. I really hope they wind up following that path. I'm curious how many teams will.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. If it's going to be like an inside run drill, though, like, maybe our idea and understanding of like what a returner is could be completely changed too. Like, it's going to be fascinating. I'm excited to see it.
The blocking will become really important. So I hope they have good offensive lines.
There's a whole nation of people that are going to have to come up with a new game plan for their bathroom breaks, because now, like, when someone touches, like, you aren't going to have 7 minutes. You aren't going to have touchdown, commercial break, extra point, commercial break, kickoff, commercial break, play. Like, there's going to be things that happen in there now that matter. So everyone's going to have to get a little bit quicker. But it's going to be fascinating to kind of just see how things shake out.